Sunday, June 7th, 2020, garden update, vegetable garden update, and the German-hearted garlic continue to grow. These things are now 40 some inches off the ground. Kind of amazing. What a plant. We had a nice thunder shower in the afternoon and a whopper blow through last night, and so this is my rain gauge to see how much rain we really did get. And so if I stick my finger down in the middle of it, we would see that as about 3/4 of an inch of rain. 3/4, 7/8 of an inch of rain came down last night and yesterday afternoon, which is fun. So I weeded the garden, at least the garlic and onion part, and everything looks groovy. These are the Illicit Craigs. They kind of flop over after a while. You can see, I think, I don't know, just probably too much weight on them. They aren't terribly structurally sound. And some of them do kind of break up a little bit, like that guy. But they seem to keep going, generally. And I think overall a success. Did some good weeding, but you always do miss a few. Trying to keep them away, especially from the onions, which are sensitive to this. Oh, I missed one here completely. Bad, Tim. And I'm one of those weeders who just leaves it there and assume it's all going to get sucked back in. So onions looking good. The peas are growing. This area of the bed needs to get weeded. I'm not sure whose responsibility this is, the bride's or mine. But peas are coming up, and her whole beans also on their way up. Just to give you some idea of heightage here. So they're, 8-10 inches up, and the peas are at 20 inches or so. This dill here will grow 3 feet tall and be really annoying and in my way, but I did pound it back mostly this year. But these are the remaining Illicit Craig onions, and now the Patterson storage onions, which I really can't tell, from the top as being any different. Of course, the amazing thing in a garden at this time of year is the tomatoes, who, here are the cherries, are heading for the wire, right? So these are the ones from seed, the cherries from seed. And these are the Wisconsins, who are, if you remember what they were like when they were planted, they were just these little scraggly things, and now they're large and beautiful. And all of them appear to be making it. Even our little Wisco, which is several times bigger than it was, still have this leaf issue, but it hasn't clobbered the plant, so we keep going. The plants from these things are growing, I swear, an inch a day. They were well under the wire last week, and now they're above the wire, and we got to get all them little arms up above the wire, and I'm gonna have to start tying them off. So yeah, some of them, are approaching the second wire even. That guy there. So pretty thrilled with the growth rate of the tomatoes. That all the indeterminates. These are, I think, the supersonics over here, way over the wire, and broadening out. Do you remember how puny these were? I mean, these were, now they're gigantic. It does make you think about, these are, I think, the Romas. It does make you think about, should you really space these even more? I think the ones here on the trellis are averaging about 22-inch spacing, and you always hear the recommendations 24 to 36 inches for your tomato spacing, and that seems so big when you're planting them, and then suddenly, they're growing into each other after 2 weeks. So gracious.
And these are the Defiants, which were abused a little bit because this raised bed tends to evaporate its water rapidly. This guy here in the foreground, that one had drooped over almost completely. I thought I killed it. Got water on it, and then it revived, but I had to water twice this week and the third time yesterday, and then the storms came. But every 2 to 3 days, and 3 days was too much for this plant here. It drooped over almost completely and barely saved it. But you know, not bad. And our butternut squash, the dock planter, the fourth one, it seems to be coming in fine. The zucchinis, sending out the big runners, so they look good. Ew! Look at this disgusting thing. What is this? Evil, gross mushrooms. I wonder what that zucchini will taste like. I have no idea what those are. And finally, this little thing is a lesson from yesterday. In the big wind that came by, this is off one of the eastern white pines. And that is the little pollen makers that cover the eastern white pines, and everything in New England is covered with a coat of yellow from this pollen. Our yard, everything, our house, kind of ridiculous. But this blew in from probably those trees over there, which are a good 70-80 feet away, but the trees are also 120 feet tall. That one on the right is, anyway. Probably they all are. And so it could make the trip. Obviously it did. So that blew in from last night. So there's your garden update, June 7th, 2020.